Hot news: experts say Trump's border wall will take years longer than he claims. President Trump claimed this week that his long-promised wall is the solution for what he describes as an illegal immigration crisis at America's southern border would be finished in just 2 years' time. But it's more likely to take years longer than that, construction experts say. A bitter fight over that proposed barrier along the U.S.-Mexico border has led to a record-breaking government shutdown, which has now stretched well into its second month. The latest attempt, the acrimonious negotiations on Capitol Hill, have centered around whether a spending package to reopen 9 federal agencies should include billions of dollars to fund a border barrier. Democrats have Trump is demanding $5.7 billion in border wall funding before ending the shutdown, arguing that the so-called crisis cannot be ignored or delayed. Trump has even one expert, however, 10,000 workers to build 1,000 miles of steel border barrier, a length Trump on numerous occasions during the campaign. Ed Zierensky, a construction economics analyst with 3 decades of experience as a building projects cost estimator, said he arrived at those figures by first approximating the total cost of various materials involved, such as concrete, steel and temporary roads. He estimated that it could cost $22 billion to cover the whole project, a number he admits is likely much. He then calculated labor and time, based on what he says is an industry rule of thumb, that it takes 5,000 to 6,000 workers to build $1 billion worth of construction in 1 year. Adding more workers to Zierensky's formula would shrink the estimated construction time. But Zierensky, availability. Caroline Clevenger, a construction engineering and management professor at the University of Colorado, said a rough construction rate of 2 miles per week was a reasonable estimate for Trump's barrier. She also referenced another border fencing project that took place in El Paso, Texas, in 2009. Reports at the time, like Zierensky, Clevenger said that the logistics of getting workers and materials stretched across the border would likely pose the biggest obstacles to building a wall quickly. The $5.7 billion that Trump has been fighting for would only be enough to build a fraction of the wall, about 234 miles of new steel barrier. It's hardly enough. To be sure, Trump had also proposed less than 2 weeks beforehand that the Trump administration currently says that roughly 762 miles of new or updated barrier are needed along the 1,954-mile-long border, according to a department official, who requested anonymity. Zierensky said it was unclear which measurement Trump was referring to when he tweeted Wednesday that the wall will be finished in 2. Trump's claim was just. Neither the Homeland Security Department nor the White House provided clarification or evidence to substantiate the president's claim in response to CNBC's questions about that tweet. While some estimates of the duration of the infrastructure project exceed Trump's 2-year time frame, it can be a challenge to make any precise estimates about the cost or length of the project, as some crucial variables have changed drastically since Trump first vowed to build the wall on the campaign trail. Trump's oft-repeated promise in 2016 that Mexico would pay for the wall electrified many of his supporters, even as Mexican officials rebuffed the claim. But the current deadline, Trump maintains that Mexico is still paying for the wall indirectly through new revenue and savings from a multilateral trade deal pending approval in Congress. Trump said January 10 during a visit near the Texas-Mexico border. The new line is the structure of the barrier also appears to have changed. Trump reportedly, Trump has more recently referred to a wall. Share this video. Got a confidential news tip? We want to hear from. Sign up for free newsletters and get more CNBC delivered to your inbox. Get this delivered to your inbox, and more info about our products and services. Copyright 2019 CNBC LLC. All rights reserved. Data is a real-time snapshot. Data is delayed at least 15 minutes. Global business data also provided by your browser is not supported. The requested video is unable to play. The video does not exist in the system. We're not able to play this video if an ad blocker is enabled. Please disable your ad blocker on CNBC and reload the page to start the video.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.